All right, welcome everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Let's go ahead and make sure you all can hear me. If you'd please type the number one in the chat box so I know that you can. I would greatly appreciate it. We'll make things very easy today and always. One for yes, two for no. Hey Trip, appreciate it. Brenda, afternoon. Afternoon, Kevin. Morning, Don. Hey Patty, thank you. A lot of ones. Thanks everybody. Afternoon, John. All right, all right, all right, all right. Well, I hope it's a good trading day for everybody. As we get started, keep in mind that everything we look at is for education. Nothing's meant to be advice or recommendations. If you find something that you like, anything, make sure it fits your own personal risk profile and risk tolerance. All right. Well, of course, the most volatile day of the year. We are in a car driving 4 hours south, I guess, southwest, into Pennsylvania for a show that my wife and I went to go see that from tickets that I had gotten her for Christmas. Let me just lower this volume here on the other system. It is getting annoying. My Slack channel is off the charts. So we drove through there and missed almost all of that move that was made that day. I saw some in the morning. I didn't trade any of it. Just wasn't in the right mindset. I was in vacation mindset, so it wasn't really the right place for me to be looking to trade. But it was a crazy day. 1,000 points on the Nasdaq, 200 points on the S&P. It was just nuts as far as the move. A little bounce back today. We'll talk all about that as we look at our markets. We're going to have a new place to draw fibs. I'll show you where, even though we haven't drawn them yet. We need to wait for the close today. I think that'll give it to us. If we can't draw them after today, I'd be ecstatic if that were the case. Actually, I wouldn't. That's not true. I would like to redraw. But the only reason we couldn't redraw is if the market took off again today and went back up that same 200 points all over from Friday. So when we look at our agenda here, we got our follow us page, and then we're going to go through today's trades, which means this is the time to start. Type in your trades. If you did trades today, drop them in. Funded or non-funded, I don't care. I don't want to hear either one of them. I don't care what it is or isn't. To me, they're all non-funded. Nothing, that doesn't matter. That's number one. Number two is win, lose, or draw. It doesn't make a difference. This is your opportunity to put out there to the universe, to your God, to whatever your belief system is, that you're doing this, right? And you're sharing with others what you're doing, which is always appreciated by me. Okay. Then we'll look at economic reports. We'll do a review of the market. We'll look at upcoming trainings. We'll get into our weekly training topic, and then of course your stocks in review. We didn't get to do those last week because our training topic went long. I don't think we'll have that today, unless there's other questions that slow us down. But I don't think that'll be the holdback for today. All right. So when we look at follow us page, this is it. Go to YouTube and put in Wealth Builders HQ. Go to TikTok. Go to LinkedIn. All the same thing, right? You can see each and every one of our handles on each and every one of our trading platforms or social platforms out there. So by all means, go ahead and rock and roll with that. You're going to see, you may notice, I think you might be able to see in the video that the ceiling fan is moving, or you see some shadow on the wall moving. That's what it is. If it's driving you nuts, I get it. Warm, and we're not even in the summertime yet, but keep in mind there's 2 monitors open with 1 computer system here. There's 6 monitors open with 1 computer system here. They're all LED monitors, and Trip and I had this conversation the other day that when people say, oh, they're LEDs, so they're not hot, they don't throw heat. Yeah, they may not throw what a regular monitor does, but there's a lot of heat being generated from 6 monitors here, 2 monitors there, and 2 desktop systems that are down here, fans blowing all day long. And I'm going to amplify that with a brand new system that I'm going to be adding in there, I think today, for an AI system that we're building internally here in my home first, for some personal things that I'm going to be using it for business, running the business type stuff. We're going to be doing some of the wealth builder stuff on there also. There's going to be a lot of trading stuff that this is going to do. I will give you an example of it. Someone built the same project that I did and asked his AI how long for you to have a PhD level experience as education knowledge as a nuclear physicist. And it said 6 to 8 hours of 100% computer time, and I can be a complete expert at that field. So that gives you the idea of, can you imagine what you can do with stock market for mindset, all of those types of things, what we're able to do in there. I am excited, especially for what I'm going to be able to bring to you guys with it. So, but it's going to get very hot in here. You're going to see fan running more often and probably higher speeds in the future with another, because this is a massive power draw on this computer. Today's trades. All right, we got a couple of you already dropped some stuff in. Let's see. So Trip said two good scalps today. Nvidia for 39.6% in 6 minutes. Google for 47.2% in six more minutes. Nice. Brenda said 15.86% on SPY on Friday. Good job. No trades today. I was distracted because I accidentally deleted my email. I understand that. Um, John said Wheel of Fortune on Wolf WULF and CIFR. Naked puts on BW, all from Covered Call Explorer. Cash flow $1,900. Guys, you understand that? He got the video from Trip on Thursday, executed his trades, $1,900 all out of that video, and that's this week. John, I'm assuming they're all weekly positions. Is that correct? Um, Let's see. Trip said, and then move upstairs and move to Southeast Tennessee and have rain for a week. It's beyond an hour, hot and humid. Oh yeah, I know. I'm not looking forward to that at all, Trip. But I am looking forward to moving out of New York. We got in this conversation, my wife and I. We were in Lancaster, PA, right near Harrisburg. So Amish country is where we were. Beautiful. It's just the towns are, the side roads are just gorgeous. It's all the houses, the farmland. I love that type of environment. We got talking about cost. It isn't cheap there. It's so expensive overall where we were. Go a little bit further into the away from the downtown type area. We went to a place called Sight and Sound. If you have not been to that theater, it's the first time we've gone. If you've not been to that theater, I sat on an aisle seat, and all of a sudden I looked to my left, which is where the aisle was, and there's a llama brushing up against my arm, or a goat, or a horse walking down the aisles, as part of the production. So it was pretty cool. It really was. Um, but we got talking about, the cost here and where things are going. They just changed our electrical structure on Long Island, where there's 3 hours, 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern, of higher energy costs. And I know some of you have that already. I talked with Jeff, who's in here. Is he in here today? I don't see him right now, but Jeff's in here all the time, who is in Arizona, and same thing. They have that higher, midday costs. But we've seen a 20% increase in our electric bill because of that, right? No one's shutting their AC off at 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock, the hottest time of the day, right? And I'm not shutting computers down, and I'm not going to stop living. It's do you do washing machine at 3 o'clock? I don't know. Am I really paying attention to it, right? Don said $1 each on SPY and QQQ calls. Great job, Don. Morning, Helen. Yeah, Brenda said congrats to everybody on your trades. That's fantastic. Ed said 200 bucks on SPX on Friday. Nice. Very nice. And John said, yes, they are all weekly trades. So they do all expire this Friday for that $1,900. So great job. Um, I did not say I'm moving to Tennessee, Brenda. That's Trip saying come and move to Tennessee, so we can hang out. We can run and go shooting all the time is what we would be doing instead of teaching. Um, Barry said I've been there in the Bronx, PA. I think they're probably as good as Broadway, stage on the sides as well, the front and the audience. Yeah, we're sitting there, and the stage, the show is captivating. We're focused on what's going on in that front stage, and out of the corner of my eye, I see something move, and I look over, and the whole side of the theater is actors now and scenery, and then on the other side of the theater, it's the same thing. It was just unreal how amazing of a show. And I've heard it. My mom has been 5 or 6 times. Friends of ours have gone a half a dozen times, and we've always never gone with them. That we've put it off, and now we're already talking about going back. They're doing Jonah the whale. Um, they're doing Jonah next year, so we're talking about taking our whole family as a Christmas gift. Going down and getting an Airbnb and tickets and going down for a nice little trip. But it was fun. Um, Diane said Michigan has had that for years. It's actually higher here now from 3 to 7. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, come join us in Tennessee, Patty said. Yep, sure. For me, guys, one trade today. It was okay. It wasn't great. It was okay. It was a good setup. It was a micro day trade exit. So on sorry, on Lily LLY. Actually, let's go back to the day chart. Um, what's going on? Okay, I don't know where my fib went there. So we gapped up, retested and bounced off the 1156, and we bring it into a 1 minute chart. You could see gapped up, we hit resistance, we failed. I loved it. Wasn't playing the downside, not with a bullish market. Came back up, we closed above, we retested, closed right there, right at the fib line, and we bounced right there. There's the entry into the trade off of that line, right? If we go back to a 5 minute candle, and we bring it in, and I just marked, I don't normally put exits on here. I just marked it so you would see it. So we had this gap up, we pulled back, we bounced, so we're in over here somewhere. We got our bounce and bullish thrust, running out of steam a little bit. Bullish thrust, weak candle, very weak candle, holding its own though, and we gapped down a little bit and started to drop. That candle was the exit about 1170. We're in that trade about 1160. It's about a $10 move with a 71, call it 70 delta. So you're looking at $6, $7, $6 was bid and asked on both sides to contend with. About $6 in 40 minutes or so, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. So overall, very excited about the move and the setup. Amazon gave us a bearish setup that I thought about taking. If it can flip over. It would be a 1 minute candle, though, we'd have to look at. Let's go current. So we stretched up right here. We pushed all the way up. We gapped down. So fib line up here at 249.5. We opened up on this second candle of the day. Third candle of the day, I guess. We opened up there. Come on, where are we? I'm not seeing opening price. We opened at 249, and that fib line was 249.45. So we got close enough, with where we opened and a fail. And I chose not to do it because the market had been moving up, but Amazon had still shown pretty good weakness in there. And the fact that we couldn't get above that 249.45, our high of the day was 249.42. So within 3 pennies of that line, 3 pennies is where that the high got to today, and we failed off of it, right? So great opportunities on a couple of different stocks. There were some other bearish ones as well. I didn't do anything on Amazon. Only Lily was the only setup today. That was it, outside of my cash flow type stuff, but which is more managing and covering right now than anything else. So, but I am getting excited for the SpaceX launch, and you've got some decisions to make. I've got family members. Here I was last night, 10:30 at night, on the phone, wanting to go to bed with a family member, trying to help them to open up a brokerage account. Now, it's my aunt and uncle, right? So now they're older than I, but only by about 15 or 17 years. That's it, right? It's my aunt is my dad's sister, and she was born much later. She was a later child in his family, right? Fourth child, and kind of yeah, we probably should have had sooner type thing. And I'm trying to help them, and they're struggling. And should I buy SpaceX? Do I not buy SpaceX? Just trying to get them to open an account up was a lot of fun. So, is this safe? Am I going to have my information hacked? They're asking for social security numbers. Is it okay to give it to them? And they're asking the right questions. I mean, they're cognizant of it, which is great, right? I got to yell at my mom all the time. Don't give that information out. Stop. Don't do that. Just because they say they're from the health insurance, don't trust them when they call you with that. Oh, we need your social security number. The hell you do. It's on my account. Don't ask me for that. But that the SpaceX deal is coming up, guys, and you've got to make a decision. Are you betting on, if you're trying to buy it now and you're trying to, flip it quickly, may or may not be the right thing to do. More than half of IPOs, as they open up, wind up failing or, dropping down from their IPO price, 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever it is, before they even get back, if they get back to that price. And then there's companies that are amazing opportunities, to me, like a SpaceX. I am not banking on the company alone. I am banking on Elon Musk. Now, I know many of you may have very strong feelings for or against Musk. I just want to stop you right now. All right. And I want you to ask the question, do you need to be right or do you need to be rich? Which one do you want? You only get to pick one. I want to be rich. I don't need to be right. I'll be wrong all day long. If it makes me rich, I could care less. Oh, wrong trade, I made money. Oh, wrong trade, I made money. Oh, wrong trade, I'm good with that. I'm absolutely good with that. Right? Yeah, there you go. I'll take rich, Tripp said. Exactly. I don't need to be right. Well, My intent is to invest in SpaceX the same way I invest in any other company, is where I take 1/5 of my total position is going to be my initial offer. There are 5 companies out there right now that you can get pre-IPOs. I do know that Fidelity is one, which is who I was trying to help my relatives open an account with last night. Uh, Schwab, so Thinkorswim. TradeStation is not. And then there is Robinhood. Now, I did hear something that you can use an app, another company, to get pre-IPO prices through other brokerage firms like TradeStation. I don't know right or wrong. I can't tell you. I'm just not buying them through TradeStation, right? So I've already set up on my Robinhood. I've already got that order in place. I'm going to be reaching out today or tomorrow to the guys at Thinkorswim, to Schwab, to see how do I get on the pre-IPO list. And all that pre-IPO list does is it allows you to buy at the IPO price. You just don't know how many shares you're going to get. You have to tell them how much you're willing to allocate as far as the number of shares. It's not, at least on Robinhood, it's not by dollars, it was shares. How many dollars are you willing to allocate into this trade? Okay. I want to put $100, $1,000, $1,000,000, whatever it is, and then they'll determine. I'm sorry, shares. Are you willing to buy 100 shares, 1,000 shares? What do you want to buy? One share. My guess is it's probably going to be the number one funded IPO that you're going to wind up with 2 or 3 shares if we get any at all, even though 30% of the volume is out there. When Here's the expression, right? And this is, I've taught this for years. When the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker start calling you and saying, I should invest in this, it's going to be hot, right? My aunt and uncle are the butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker. They have no investments at all in things like this. They don't own any stocks. They don't have a brokerage account already. They have nothing. Okay, so both do very well for themselves with pensions and all that stuff. They don't need the extra income. It's good. This is more what do we do for our kids down the road type stuff, kids and grandkids. But I think potentially, I think it has the potential to be explosive. And if some of the things come down the pike associated with it, as an example, if Elon Musk is able to put servers in outer space, it's massive to a SpaceX company, right? If he's able to power it from the sun, it's going to be massive for him that there'll be no cost of electricity, which is one of the largest costs of data centers right now, right? He will not have to power it to make it cold because it's already cold up there. So it's not an overheating issue, right? And then he's talking about using Starlink or some version of it to send the signal back and forth for that data, right? So now it just gives a boost to Starlink because there's another income stream from them coming from the AI data centers that people are going to be paying for to put their data in the cloud, right? Literally in the clouds. Okay. Well, there's also talk of rolling Tesla as a company into SpaceX. Wait a second. And there's Kathy Woods from Arc Financial still has a call. She dropped her number from $2,800 a share for Tesla down to $2,600 per share by 2030. So we got 3.5 years. It's supposed to go from $300 to $2,600 a share, all being banked on getting robo taxis in place because Uber is going to let all of their staff go ultimately, and they're going to put all robo taxis in, and Tesla is going to get a dollar amount for every ride taken, and it'll all be managed by Uber. Tesla will do nothing but provide the vehicles. Okay, so that's where they think it takes off. Roll those two companies together. The AI version of from Tesla, which is Grok, right? Right now, they're not using Grok in SpaceX. They're using Claude, and they're spending $1.8 billion, 1.8 billion with a B a month on AI. Take that away and get Grok running and doing it instead, and that's an automatic savings of $35 billion a year or something like that for them, right? Um, Brendan said, does it have options? I believe there will be enough volume day one to make the stock optionable if a rep is willing to pick it up, which I don't see why they wouldn't be. Right? So it won't be optionable, I don't believe, unless they make some special ruling for it. It won't be optional on day one, but I think it's going to be optional very quickly. The other side of it is those different brokerages. I believe TOS, and I don't know, I haven't checked, but someone told me that they require a $100,000 account to get pre-IPO. With Fidelity, they just lowered their account minimum to $2,000 to get pre-IPO pricing, meaning you're getting that IPO price. So if you don't have an account, they said online it takes 15 minutes to open the account and the funding takes place immediately if you're doing the wire transfer from your bank. So that money is in there and you're ready to rock and roll. They'll get you approved immediately or not, right? But if you are approved, it'll happen immediately. So, and I'm not saying you should open with Fidelity, you shouldn't. There are two other companies. I'm not saying you should buy pre-IPO, and I'm not saying you should buy SpaceX. What I'm saying is this is a major news event that even if you're not willing to purchase it, and it's okay, not everybody will, you really need to pay attention to it. There are some offshoots. I don't remember who it was, but another space type company like SpaceX is coming out through a SPAC, which is a backdoor into an IPO, hoping that it's going to work and they IPO it later type thing. But they're supposed to come out later this year. So that's one that may be an opportunity. And then if you are looking at what's going on in the world, period, with technology, Claude, which is Anthropic, is supposed to be releasing an AI this year also, which will probably be as big, if not bigger, than SpaceX when that comes out. There's a race right now between ChatGPT and Claude. I hope Claude wins. I don't want ChatGPT to win because I think Claude will be a much bigger and is a much better company than GPT. Let's see. Barry said Musk's space data centers. How do we go to the moon or anywhere else in space on 1 million or more obstacles of 100,000? Yeah, no kidding, right? Rockets don't steal like cars. I think there's just going to be shipping lanes, Barry. That this is the lane of where you're allowed to shoot that rocket through, type thing. They can do that. They can get into a zone where they don't put any of them. I don't know the logistics behind it. I got to believe that people much smarter than I have thought of that already. I have not, Barry, by the way, which I said people much smarter than I. Hopefully they have thought of that already. Um, Right. Anthropic has filed. OpenAI has not. Claude is winning. Right. But OpenAI could come out with an earlier date. They could file and get it all in earlier. I don't think they will. I think Claude is it. Claude will probably be the one that I break my rule on and do a larger investment than I would normally do in Claude. Still do it in 5 parts, but do a larger investment. I think there's great opportunities there. So there's a lot coming down the pike, guys, that if you have not seen, there's just a whole lot happening right now. A whole lot. All right, if we look at economic reports, let's see, we got nothing today and tomorrow. Wednesday is all red and it's all 8:30 in the morning. It's CPI, Consumer Price Index, month over month, year over year. Core CPI, it's all core. No, it's core and then CPI. So core is the main function, CPI is everything. Core PPI, which is Producer Price Index, and then unemployments are on Thursday at 8:30. And then Friday at 10 o'clock, we've got consumer sentiment, consumer expectations. I'm sorry, inflation expectations. Those are at 10 o'clock. They're orange. I'm not really as concerned with those as maybe some of the others, but they're all 8:30. So there's really nothing here that I think of, ooh, don't be in the market. Could consumer sentiment and expectation mess us up a little bit? Yeah, I guess it could. I guess it could. Keep in mind that there are some political elections going on right now, and some of that can cause some strife as well, just as an FYI. Just something to keep in mind. Um, First Warsh Fed is this week. Yep, there you go. Good point, Trip. Good point. Yep. All right. Let's go look at the market. Sorry, my wife and I were talking about going to Boston this summer for a little bit, so we're looking at the market. Uh, so probably need a new fib on this at this point. No, we're not. We don't have a bigger move yet, and we didn't break the negative 618, so we're good. Um, um, Fed is next week, Trip said. Okay, good. Yeah, so Brenda, absolutely the war in the Middle East, Iran, and all of that is going to affect it. Iran and Israel fighting and exchanging bombs. And I don't know all of the subgroups, the Houthis or Huffies or, the Hush Puppies or whoever the hell they are. I don't know who any of these groups, I don't follow this stuff that closely, right? Who's in charge and who's just a splinter group and all that. But whatever it is, all of that stuff is definitely causing strife in the market. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. None. Okay. So I was mixing up the chart that we're going to be drawing a fib on with one of our stocks on um, I think it's AMD. In pop, no, it wasn't AMD. Don't remember who it was. I wrote it on the chart, so I don't have to remember it. But anyway, right now we pulled down yesterday, Friday, into a neutral bias rank of two. As we sit right now, if we close here, we're at a rank of one right now, with a neutral bias, bullish, neutral, neutral bias, whatever it would. It would actually no, it would be neutral. Even if we get above the 21 and stay below the 8, we remain neutral. Cannot get bullish neutral until we get bullish first. We were bullish, we were neutral, we stay neutral until we become bullish again, and then if we drop back in between, it's bullish neutral. But you can't float up between three levels and just change like that. It doesn't work that way. You would need another line, another moving average in there that gave you bullish is up here, bullish neutral is here, neutral is here. It doesn't work. It's got to get back to bullish first. That's the only way we can go bullish neutral, or else we'll just be playing games the whole way. It's inaccurate. So, am I upset? Am I bothered? Am I concerned about this pullback in here? No, I'm not. I wanted a break of the 21. We got it. Now, don't get me wrong. Would I have liked to seen it take 2 or 3 days instead of a 1 day drop and then a correction today because we did an overreaction? Yes. Do I think some of the war in the Middle East is going to contribute to this? Yes. I think we're still going to deal with strife over this, costs of gas. And yes, although I've seen it here come down, we saw 415 here in New York. In Pennsylvania, it was kind of that 425 level. We did see one gas station there at 399, cash only, but 399 for the gas. We've got one here that's cash only for 399, I think, as well. But just the one, okay? 313 by trip. There you go. Yep. Yep. We're a little bit higher than that at this point at 399, 415, and so forth. I am not. We talked about this the other night. Trip and I were in a group together in one of the meetings, classes, and I said I am not the person that drives 10 minutes to save 10 cents a gallon on gas. I don't. I'm not the person that says I need to go into a gas station, pay them, come back out, pump my gas, go back in to collect my change, and then because I want filled, I don't want to have to go back again, and then come back to my car. I'm just going to put a credit card in and pay 10 cents a gallon more. I don't care, right? And I'm not saying you do that or don't do that. That's just me, right? I refuse to do it. I don't have that kind of time in my life. I'm not worried about the 10 cents a gallon. I'm not saying that everybody shouldn't worry about it. You do you, and that's okay. But there are things like that that are still scary. And there are things like that that are going to drive some of the midterm election stuff that we're going to contend with as far as costs go. That's going to be tremendous for many of the elections out there. So right now, I'm not upset by it at all. I mean, we would have had a 10% correction off of, I don't remember the high. I think it was this high. Off of this high, a 10% correction would have been 63.02. If we take our high right now, let me get a calculator. Where is it? There we go. What screen does it open up on? I know it's here somewhere. Oh, there we go. Okay. So if our all-time high is 76.2090, 76.20.9 times zero point 0.1, 762-point drop. We take that away from 76.2090, 76.20.9, it gives us 68.58. Is that right? Did I do that right? That's 10%. Yeah, that would be 10%. 68? I don't know. If we got up to 7,600, $760 would come off of it. So about $6,858 would be our 10% correction. Trip, am I right on that? Is that what you have? 68.58? I may be doing the math wrong. But that 68.58.81. Okay, good. Yeah, the negative sign is just because I did the subtraction backwards. I wasn't willing to put another number in. So 68.58 takes us down near that 68.30 level. So this is about where our 10% correction comes in. I'd love to see us get down there, but I would like to see it drag out. I'd like to see pain day after day after day. Little bounce bullish. Ooh, hope. and then we fail. Bounce off of this fib line right here, the 236, the blue zone, right? The fib that's in there, negative 136. Bounce off of that a little bit, and then push through hard. Get to the zero line, play around there, and bounce a little bit, and push through hard, and get us down to that 68.58 level, 68.60 we'll call it, right? Get us down to that 68.60 level in a quick fashion in there, and I would be ecstatic, absolutely ecstatic. Actually, the 67.65 was this was the last one, was the previous one. 67.65 was the last one. That's where the last one was off of that level, right? And now it's at 68.60. So we've got an opportunity there. We need some downside movement. We've had too strong of a move take place. I really would love to see the pullback in here. We didn't make the advance all the way up to the full 100 at this point. I'm okay with that. We'll redraw some lines. We'll retool, regroup, and do it again. And that's okay, right? Things get violated, things get readjusted, and we start over again. But I think stocks are too expensive. I think the market is too expensive. I think the VIX is way too high right now. We need to be back closer to the lower end of our yellow zone. And we're now we're in the high and back to the middle. But this is where we belong in that lower part of it, that 16, 17-ish level, right? We're at 18 and jingle, about halfway through on our yellow zone, which is moderate, which is where we will spend most of our time. I think that Friday was an overreaction. There's no question it was an overreaction to see that kind of move, right? Without a doubt. Closing price there was 21 and a half, right? Right here is 21 and a half. Yeah, below the 7,000 mark. Exactly, Brenda. Exactly. It takes us down below that 68.58, I think we said, right? 68.60? Yeah. 68.60. It takes us down below that 7,000 level, below the 236, and just above the 382, right? That's a nice pullback in there, right? And then that means, well, that fib would still be valid because we don't really have a reason to change yet. We're not too old. We haven't broke the negative 618. There's no larger move. This line would give us the larger move, right? Yeah, this line would give us the larger move, and we don't have it. We don't have it. There's nothing near it. So everything right now is looking well. VIX is doing fine in here. Again, I'd like it a little bit lower, but you see, we dipped down into these newer levels of low, and we came right back out of it again. This is going to happen, but it's not going to be normally a permanent space. And again, without a political point to it, whether you like Trump or not makes no difference. Keep in mind that right now, political environment, I don't believe over the next 2 years is going to give us, while through the rest of his presidency, is going to give us that calm where things get down to low and are easier, right? And certainly not making it down to the very low nor the ultra low. I don't foresee that happening at all. Not one bit. Not unless Martians came by and said, okay, everybody that doesn't like Trump, we take them away. Other than that, there's no way it happens. Period. I don't see us having a calm market. Um, yeah, Trip said we want more VIX for CCE. I like 21. Yep, there you go. I agree, Trip. And it's the sacrifices that we make for the lower costs of our directional options. Although Friday things got very expensive, but it's the lower costs that we get, and the sacrifices we don't get as good a premium on positions we sell. So you do more work to find it. And the good thing, Trip, is people like John are still taking what you're doing and coming up with $1,900 for the day. So it's working, that's for sure. But I agree with you on the VIX for selling positions. It's not the best at that level. Yeah, way to go, John. All right, let's take us back into the presentation. So coming up tonight, we've got Inner Circle Check-In with Trip. Tonight is also Trading You. I'm teaching that one. Mastermind is tomorrow. I don't remember if that's me. I'm not sure. I think that's Trip. Tomorrow, E-mini Q&A on the 17th. Monster Market Movers on June 18th. Pop covered call, E-mini are all on regular schedule, I think. Where is Juneteenth? Does anybody know what day Juneteenth is? It's not this week. So we should be fine. It's not this week. I think is it next week? Juneteenth? June 19th. Always, yeah, Diane, thank you for that. I just can't remember it. I just can't. Um, June 19th, which is a Friday. Well, that's cool. It makes for a 3-day weekend for everybody, my team and all. Um, yeah, all right, excellent. Well, but we are good for pop cover call E-mini then. Power Hour Training Coaches Playbook. Actually, there is no Training Coaches Playbook on the 19th. There it is because of the holiday. But we do have one coming up this Friday. And then Stress Free Trading, which is with Tony. All right. June 9th and 10th are the last two classes he has left. So make sure that you register for those. Andrew, if you could drop a link in there if you haven't already, you might have already done it. For stress free trading signals, that would be great. Guys, there's nothing like being able to get a text message that says, look, I've done all the hard work, the heavy lifting. Here's the candidates. Go. I love it. I look through them every day as potential trades. Every day. Let's see. Next, all right, you got stress-free trading. Weekly training topic. All right, every week we put a topic out there that we discuss. I encourage open conversation here. So by all means, drop in questions, drop in contrarian views. I don't care. You cannot startle me. You cannot tick me off. I read everything that's out there unless you wrote something that is inappropriate. And other than that, I read every single comment that gets dropped in, or you write in there, please don't read this out loud, because some people want to just say something personal that they don't want read. And I don't pay attention. I just start reading. I don't read it first. I just read. So weekly training topics: swing trading or day trading. Now, which swing trading or day trading, which is now, right? And which is for now. So if we go back and look at the S&P 500, and this to me is where you need to focus, right? We've had very strong bullish market with a couple of bearish days in there, and that's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all. But we've had a lot of days where you get a move and you are all over the place. So if we look at Eli Lilly, right? Look at the move on Eli Lilly, right? We gap up, we retest, we bounce, we take the trade at about 11:59 or so, where I think I was in. We called it 11:60 just for easy math. But you take the trade there. And my first target is 1200, right? That's my resistance. I'm going to target at 1195. We didn't get anywhere near there. We got to about 1182, 3, something like that today. High of 1183, we'll call it. Close enough, okay? 1183 versus 1195. We're 12 points away from resistance. And we pulled and we gave it all back. So an option, I'll make it up just for easy math. You pay $10 for the option when you got in. It ran up here. It became $20. It came back down to where it opened. And the $10 option that opened there for this Friday's expiration, 5 full days away, is only worth $8.25. $8, we'll say. Easy math again, right? Why? Because we lost volatility in the option. The gap up drove up options volatility automatically. The run, the explosion to the upside, quick explosion, drove up more volatility. We broke down another big candle, volatility flip, all the vol gets dumped into the puts, sucked out of the calls, which were overvalued already. And you see this decline in the options price, even though you still have almost the same amount of hours left until expiration, an hour or 2, 3 less than you had, but you're seeing a difference in price at that point, right? So to me, right now, the number one opportunity is directional trading for daily exits, cash flowing your trades today. You're not holding overnight. And do not get me wrong, are there profits to be made on overnight trades, on swing trades? Can you make some decent money? You can. But I feel, I can't show it on this one. Let me open the other one up. I feel that the opportunity, you can't see my swing trades on the one contract page. I feel the opportunities are in the day trades. And here's why. So we have a very strict set of rules in power option plays, okay? Where we lay out, we have to take a trade based on what we see. We look for a true bullish market to take a bullish swing trade, a true bearish market to take a bearish swing trade. We've got or had those conditions, right? True bullish market means that the moving averages are in the right order, right? Moving averages 8 on top, 21 in the middle, pink, green, and then brown on the bottom, 55. They're in the right order. We are coming off of a close near the fib line. The moving average is right there, either the 8 or 21. That's a true bullish bias, rank of 1. I'm good with a swing trade now if I can find the right setup on Apple, Amazon, Google, whoever it is. Okay, I'm good with a swing trade there from one of those. All right, but but the way we're seeing movements take place. Look at this day here. Look at this right here. This day. This is the 22nd. Let's go to 522 intraday. It's not going to go that far back. Let me see if I. Yeah, it's not going to go that far back. All right. Um, my point was we gapped up, pulled back to support, we bounced, we ran, and we pulled back. Okay. You saw a decrease in value on that day on a weekly option that expired whenever the next upcoming Friday was. That was Friday. So you would have had, if you did a swing trade, you would have done, 30 days out. You would have seen a decrease in value in the option just because it had gapped up, was already overvalued, pulled back and bounced, increased in value even more, ran up, ran out of steam, closed back where it opened, laid flat and died there for the rest of the day. And you're going to see that volatility flip and they're going to suck the premium out of the calls and dump it into the puts. Well, that becomes problematic with the swing trade because now you've got targets or stops that are off because the price of the options have moved so dramatically against you, which is where I talk about micro day trading so heavily. Okay. So if we look at, where'd my spreadsheet go? All right. If we look here, if you do not see any of these columns filled in, G to N, right? If you see anything in there, that's a swing trade. May 6th, Goldman Sachs. We made $7,000. We did 4 contracts. We would have sold 2 here. Okay. If it's a swing trade, if this is yellow, we did 4. We automatically sell 2. It's a 2, 1, and 1. So we sold 2. We did not get to the 1. We got stopped out of the last 2. We made $7,600. Great swing trade. But that was May 6th was the last one we did. Here we are, June 8th, a month away. Right? If I back up, the one before that was March. We made $3,400 on Oracle. Carvana, we did a 3, we did a 2, a 1, and we're stopped out of our last one. We got in at 321, bearish trade. We got out at 299, call it 300. We got a $21 drop there for the last one. It's almost $7,000 P&L on those 4 contracts, right? Wonderful. But we're in March. We had 2 trades in March, which seems crazy, right? Actually, we had a few more. Meta, we made 6,000. SPY, we made 1,600. So are there profits in there? Yes. Booking, I don't know why we skipped it. It should have been, the first one is where it should have been. I don't know why. We made $17,000 there. Okay. So, just phenomenal. Actually, I know why. We only wound up doing 2. We did 2 contracts. Phenomenal dollar amount, right? 2 contracts, $18,000 of profit. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 swing trades out of, we're at line 198, and the first 3 lines are headers. So 195 trades, 6 of them have been swing trades. Right? What is that? 2.5%, 2%, 3%, maybe something ish like that. Okay. The opportunities with the volatility in the market of the swift ups and downs are not making it conducive for that longer trade. If we go look at any stock, somebody give me a major stock symbol. First one to type in and I'll pull it up. And I mean Amazon, Apple, a big company. I don't want to pick it. You guys pick it. Micron, MU. Okay. So, big move up, pull back, we open, we run down, we bounce back up, we pull up, we fail, right? We gap up, we run, right? We run again, we pull back, gap. So this one right here, if you did swing trades on this, if you did a swing trade back in here, you did phenomenal. You did phenomenal on the trade, right? Most of the times we see breakouts like this failing. Now, Micron happened to do some crazy moves where we went from $300 to $1,000 in just as many months, 3 months. Okay. AMD, same types of moves in there, right? Big moves. So we got the breakout and we gapped up and ran, and then we tested and we gapped down. We broke out and we failed. We broke out, we gapped down, we closed here. We did well there, and then we pulled back, right? This, let me grab, I don't have my drawing tools open. Um, where's Jim? He's supposed to tell me to check your drawing tools. He's not here today. Okay. Jim is usually really good about that. You got your drawing tools open? There we go. 3 seconds now for it to start. All right. Oh, not what I wanted to do. I hit stop instead of pause. All right. So let's hit record again. Hit pause. All right. So when we see the pattern we see right in here is a normal pattern that we see. And when you have that hitting, and this is happening for a week long, you are watching volatility strip away at the premium on your options as time goes away. Okay. So, and even worse on options that are very short term. If you're trying to trade a Friday option and you're doing this with a Friday option, a week or two out, the option Greeks, the Black Scholes type models, none of them, there's 6 or 7 different ones now, none of them can really take into account for weekly options. They've not been built for it. They've all been built for monthly options. None of them are built for weeklies. So they really can't fairly calculate delta and gamma and all of that. They're doing their best guess to estimate it. To me, I want to see as much day trades as possible. Now, you have to understand where this came from. Right? As a brand new trader, 1997, my strategy was what I called rolling options. Why rolling options? I learned rolling stocks. Right? You found a stock that was moving like this between 2 and 4. That was a pattern that was a strategy we were taught. Okay? By low cost stocks. And you only did the bull side. You didn't do anything to the downside. I said, wait a second. What if I went ahead and said, I like the pattern, but let's find this on stocks moving, let's, as an example, say 20 to 24 instead. Well, now I buy here at 21. I get out here at 23. I do with an option. There's a $2 move in my stock price. My option is going to move about $1.40. Right? So maybe with bid-ask spread, I wind up walking away with $1 on that option for that trade on a very low cost option, a very low cost position. And these were swing trades. When it came to day trades, I wanted nothing to do with them. All of my day trades blew up in my face regularly. Now, day trades back then were momentum trades. You looked at the market, you looked at the stock, and because it was moving, you took the trade. It didn't matter where support was. It didn't matter where resistance was. You had no idea why it was moving. It's moving. Buy the option or buy the stock, whatever it was. Go long. Right? Or short, depending on what you're trying to trade, up or down. But, take that trade, bullish or bearish, based on the pattern that's happening. Watch volume, watch price, and when momentum, if we took that trade as it moved up and we said, okay, we're going to take the downside on it, and we start moving down and moving down and moving down and moving down, and we get down near a support level, and we start bottoming out at that point, it's probably time to go because we think we may get a bounce at that point. Okay. And as a day trader, that momentum, as you saw the option or the stock rather run up quickly today, eight for 8 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, whatever it was, and then you saw this drop back off happen today. That volatility drop, or the stripping out of volatility there, that volatility flip is what it's called, took away a huge premium amount of the premium from the option here from the upside. But it was very much an extremely short term trade. So I was very turned off by day trades completely. I wanted nothing to do with them. And by the way, with these trades, you would do 20, 50, 100 trades a day. They would just trade after trade after trade after trade after trade. There were entire prop houses built on this, right? Where they would lend you some of their money, which they're really not, using their margin against all your money. Once you lose all your money, you're done trading. They don't really put any of their money at risk. They get to keep the lion's share of the money. You get to trade using their systems and so forth. You get limitations, stocks you could trade, number of contracts or shares you can trade, if you trade options or not, futures or not. That's really up to them. Okay. Um, but that type of day trading was not consistent with me and my personality. So for me, it was all about swing trades. And as power option plays became more popularized in the 2010s, 12s, 15s, we still did much more swing trades and a bunch of day trades. So if we look, actually, let me see something here. I may miscellaneous. Is that it right there? I don't know how far back I go here. Yeah, that's not that far back. So I'm trying to see if I have some old pop sheets. I mean, that's 2018. So I mean, we could look at 2018. I don't know how much is there, but no, this was a different sheet. Anyway, if we go back and look at what has happened, um, let me see, 28. There's another 2018. Let me see. Maybe it's a different file. Okay, circular references. It didn't like it, whatever it was. All right. No, it just it didn't open it. Didn't. Oh no, is this it? Let's see. Yeah. So look, this is 2018. And look at the difference in there. See all those columns filled in here? See all of those? Those are swing trades that have those filled in. All right, but then again, SPY was $268, right? Wow. What a difference. 2018. Gotta love it. Look at all the swing trades. We got this barren portion here. We went from March 14th to March 23rd or so. Yeah, that was when the exit was 23rd. We had very few no swings at all. Just swing after swing after swing, right? I mean, we did extremely well. This, I don't know what the year netted us. 1,332,000, 1,333,000 on our trades that year. I don't have it broken up by swing and day trade at all, right? These are the end of 18. They were still open. They were open trades at the end of 18. Okay. So tremendous difference of what we had in 18 versus what we have now. So to me, right now, day trade has a much more, it's much more of a valid trade to consider than a swing trade. And if I were swing trading, I'd be doing it for 2 or 3 days at most. I am really not excited about holding anything over the weekend if I don't have to. Directional trades, long positions, my long stocks that I own for investments, covered calls. Yes, I'm fine with that. But my standard trading that I do, not at all. Not at all. Mm-mm. Can't do it. Cannot do it. All right. So go ahead and put in the symbols of the stocks you want me to take a look at. We've got a few minutes left. We can go and check some of those out. So Brenda's got in SPY and QQQ. I'm going to switch this over to all symbols so I can see Fibbits on the side there. SPY. And guys, if you pay attention, Brenda asks SPY QQQ each week. Why? Because that's what she trades. She trades the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. You'll see Tripp putting in his candidates of what he's done for that day over and over and same ones again and again and again and again. Same with Amelia, right? The stuff they do in Inner Circle. So right now, Brenda, on SPY, we are in a neutral bias rank of one. We're looking at 750, 748, and 754 as resistance. We're looking at 735 as support. I definitely see an opportunity there to the downside if we roll over again on the market. The upside, I would be very cautious until we get above that 754 again. I would probably not take anything above that. If you took off the 748, I'd be out before 754. It's a tight trade, a little bit too tight for me. All right, so Qs, we need to wait for today to pop in there. Dun, 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 dun. All right, there we go. All right, so we are still in a neutral bias. Remember, we were neutral yesterday, Friday. We moved up here. Doesn't make us bullish neutral. We've got to be bullish first. I do like the pinch on the 8 and 21. The downside, it's there if we break through the 21 again down to 702. The upside, though, is the powerhouse. If we can vacillate here another day or two, Brenda, we'll see the 8 come down closer to that 722 and then the bounce. And that right there is what I'm looking for. Right now, break above, retest, and bounce, and there's an opportunity. And, I didn't look today. Let me see. Just move that out of my way. Let's see. All right. Okay. So Perplexity has a finance tab in it. You'll find these heat maps elsewhere. This was all red on Friday. Every bit of this technology was red. Okay. Much worse, though. We're not anywhere near back from where we were. Um, there's still a lot of red in there, and don't discount these other sectors, utilities and industrials. Energy is up. But that's not a good thing. Energy is up because of the cost of fuel is up, right? If they make a 3% profit on a gallon of gas and gas goes from $2 to $4, they now make 3% on $4, not on $2, right? So, assuming costs remain the same for that. So, on the heat map, you can use this to kind of get an idea of what's going on in the overall market. And it is Perplexity Finance, is what it's called. Okay, it's on Perplexity. It's their finance tab. Let me bring this back. So I like it, Brenda. I just want to see us break above, retest, and bounce. And with as much technology, and that's why I brought that up from, oh, where'd it go? Come on. Well, now let me grab. Oh, I know what it is. Okay. So the reason I brought the heat map up, I'm going to pull it out again, is we're looking at QQQ, and you can see how much of technology is doing well, right? So it gets really rocking and rolling. Okay. All right. You're welcome, Brenda. And then Ed, the last one, we've got Riven, Rivn. $17 stock, not one that I normally trade. So let's go back and look at where fibs would be. Largest directional move closest to the right side of the chart. We're going back to September of last year. We're going to draw off of this swing high to this swing low. I'm going to pull this out. So Ed, I like where this lands. The retest of the 17 and the bounce takes it up to 18. Right, a little tight, but that's where we've got our next opportunity there. I don't know what options go for on this at all. Right, in automotive. If we break the 19, keep your eye on the recent swing highs we've had there. And it's not, remember, look left, critical phase, right? Look left. If you look at this high right here, I'm going to leave my mouse on it, and then move to the left, and you see this high. Right, right next to my mouse there, right here. You see this high right here, and we're right in that same plane. So that is going to be a resistance level, that 18 and a half. That's going to be a resistance level, even though it's not really a line. We've been there, we failed off of it, and we can make it through. We've been through it before. We can make it through, but it is an invisible line that's going to slow us down because human emotion is going to remember that level. All right. With that, everybody, Andrew dropped some links in the chat. Go ahead and grab those. Have a great rest of your day. God bless. And I'll see you all back here next week at our next one. Take care, everybody. See you soon. Bye for now.